There we go. Now this was a whole lot of nothing. A whole lot of garbage. Wasn't sure what was going on there. Actually, accidentally like got sidetracked and uh, what do you call it? Timed out at the turn, I think. But they let it go when it was all said and done. I took a dive on a tournament earlier. Four-handed, nine-player. Uh, one more to the money. I bubbled. Jammed in with like a weak ace X, and the guy called with a pair of eights, I think. Um, just couldn't pick up anything. I don't think that's strong enough for me to call. Third of my stack, ace nine offsuit. I was just hoping to see a cheap flop. There are certain holes in my game, and I'm trying to figure out how to plug. I'm trying to figure out profitable situations. And some of the players that are beating me from a skill standpoint, I don't feel like are very good, frankly. But they're much more willing to take risks. Loose play, picking the right situation. And sometimes also just shifts in my mood, and then also just are you catching cards? Sometimes you don't, and then you've got to. I mean, what do you do when you play several tournaments and you just literally don't? You only pick one or two hands that are even worth playing. You've got to be able to handle those swings. I don't like this, but I'll call. It didn't bet very much. Was it 2 times the big blind? We'll check again, showing the greatness and strength of my hand. I will call that, hoping for it to frush. I did not get it, but I will check it down unless you bet and say you have who knows what, but I got a 10. Just little things like that. You know, I tend to avoid confrontation, and to a point, that's good. But there are times where, you know, you need to be a little more aggressive. I can't assume, and this is the fear thing. If all, you know, spades hit the board, I'm like, oh, they've got spades. No, they don't. They didn't call on a flush. Nobody bets on a flush. They might have a suited, you know, pair, but just like the flop that just hit, okay, I bet he called. Did he have it? Well, he could, but make a bet. He let it go. Um, Fear-based poker is going to cost me a ton of chips and a lot of money because if I always assume the guy has it, you know, like you make up this story in your head and they always have the nuts. And that's just not the case. And the other players are sometimes leaning on the fact that you're afraid that they have it. And once they figure that out, you're very easily exploitable, which is not where you want to be. If possible, you want people to fear you at the table and you want them to avoid conflict with you. It's the best 5 cards, not the best 2. So many situations. It's like me bubbling in that tournament. I'm like, I had a weak ace and the guy called with a pair of 8s. Well, he had 5 or 6 times your stack. He can call. He can afford to lose. Now, I've got 5s in late position. Now, if I bet, is number 7 going to jam? And then is it worth a call? Well, it's unlikely, not impossible, but it's unlikely that he also has a pair, though it does happen. But how does he respond to the bet? And what are you going to do? Fold every pair of 5s you ever get? And that's where the edges are that I'm still trying to figure out. It's also that my win rate is high enough that it's paying for my losses. If I was just out and out losing money left and right and putting more money in and draining my bank account, well, then you're having a gambling problem. but I'm playing completely within my bankroll, just $1, $2 tournaments. I'll flat this and just check there. Not really good. He bet out. I'll flat this again. I don't know that he has it. King and a queen might do it. I don't have a lot right here. The 7 didn't really change my hand. I'm just going to check. Could have a king or a queen, and does he? And there's poker, because what is he betting on? Now, I think a pair of 8s is strong enough that I will bet. A pair of 5s, a little different. I'm going to bet back at him. King or a jack, I could draw either of those cards at the river. There's also a potential flush draw. If he hasn't connected with anything, he might want to let that go. Over here, without going crazy, I'll make a bet. That's a good connector. I've got an open-ended straight draw. The other table, I let queen 7 offsuit go. Not super happy about that, but I'll bet it again. He was not betting on a king the first time around. If he jammed here, I would question whether I was ahead. But otherwise, what does he think is going on? Also, if I get into a flow of like, it feels to me like moving chips around the board. It's not taking any major losses. It's just playing hands in various positions in various ways, continuing to build, being in a position where I can lose small amounts trying to pick up, lucky cards that hit just right. I don't have the same anxiety as when I first started, where, oh no, I've got an ace and a 2. What do I do? It's like, check, see what the flop is. Okay, did you hit a flush? Okay, did you hit an ace? All right, did you hit a straight draw? Maybe. Backdoor. So what do I do? Now, they didn't come in betting on a flush. Could they have a suited hand with spades? Yes. Do I have anything that matches up with that board? No. And there you just make judgment calls. And sometimes I'm wrong. But I jammed in with a weak ace X and the guy called with a pair of. I'm like, yeah, they do that. And now I don't think my ace is any. I'm sorry. I don't think that my ace is good any longer. Nobody bet on this. Letting fear put the best hand into your opponent's cards is not a good idea. Multiple screens. I am back. What are we doing? Fold. What are we doing? Fold. Run away. Also, um, emotions. I don't like losing. I'm very competitive. When I get into a sour mood, I take a break, go take a walk, have a drink, do some yoga, change my headspace. And sometimes the cards just don't fall for you. It's annoying when that happens, but your skill is no match for the changes and fluctuations and variance in your hands and cards. There are times when you have good cards and you just cannot make them hold up because guys are calling them trash. And I don't see any way of preventing that. That just seems to be the case, and that's just how it is. And it's King Nine, this is fucking horrible. And it's like, yes, it is. But I'm on the button. Number nine has twice my stack. Oh my god, you're betting into a big stack? And it's like, no, I made a bet. I'm not making a lot of bets. Does he want to risk half his stack on who knows, 8-5 offsuit that he's holding from the big blind when I'm on the button? Those little bits and pieces, just a handful of blinds, make a big difference to your overall chip stack and allow you to be a little bit more mobile. I love the game and the flow, but I don't want to put myself in a position of being frustrated or angry about stuff going on at the table. It's just poker, especially at these stakes. If Lex would do a consult with me, he's like, "You lost how much?" I'd go $2, and he'd be like, what? Are you are you fiscally in a place where you can lose $2?" And I go, yes. And he's like, yeah, I think you're all right, man. Sometimes these things happen. Uh, all right. What are we gonna do here? So I am gonna take a risk and flat here. I'm going to limp in here. I'm gonna check there. Here, I did not hit anything. I'm not super excited about this. I'm gonna flat here as well. Open-ended. He probably at this point has an idea of what I might be holding. Um, I'm going to just put a small bet in. The other hand, this is more problematic. I'm gonna flat here. And this is the just a little bit of pushback. I'm gonna call. He's probably got an ace, and he does. Um, I mean, what else do I do there? Like, I assume he has it, but do I just want to play passively the whole way through? I did lose some chips, but it's like I can't assume every time the guy's got it. I don't like this now. And but I lost, Lex. Okay, how much did you lose? $2. All right. Somebody had better cards than you in one hand, and I go, yeah. Is that what I'm going to complain about? It's the long term. It's not me short term making a disastrous move with Queen 10 suited from the small blind. I lost 200 more chips. Yes. The guy drew out to an extremely lucky river and beat you. Now, I have kings and everybody folds to me. Nice. Thanks, guys. That was wonderful. That was the hand I was hoping to play. Trying to juggle two screens, moving along rapidly. And I do check my bankroll periodically just to see like where am I at, and I'm like, I'm fine. You've taken some small losses, but you only need one or two really solid first and second places to rebuild it completely. Those swings are much easier when you're on small tables, small stakes. I even heard Lex say something about he'd play differently if it was like smaller stakes tables. My coffee is gone. Mm, that's worth a bet. Uh, okay. So could he have a weak ace? Could he have like just a pair? I'm gonna call this. A 10. Give me a 10. And it does happen from time to time, but what am I gonna do? Fold every time? Like I have an unending lack of faith in their holdings, by the way. Players will jam lots of different hands in positions that are confusing to me. And you can look at that and go, dude, that's horrible. Like, I can't believe I can't believe you called that. And it's like, well, one, I'm only going to lose $1. And two, do guys jam fucking queen seven suited? Yes, all the time. All the time. Sometimes he's going to have it, but I was one card away from hitting a straight and cracking him. Now, his play also, when I play it back, I go, oh, okay, he was afraid I had a weak ace. He's trying to defend his kings, and that's fine. But all I did was make a standard bet, and I got a jam. Does he have a pair of sevens? You're making judgment calls, and in my case, at that moment, it was worth it for me to call. It doesn't help my bankroll at the moment, but is what it is. We got another 9-player tournament. This will take a second to get loaded. All right, let's see if we can get this guy loaded. Right there. Let me resize. A range. Did I think the guy was ahead? Probably. He had some fare. That was my assumption. Maybe he had AK. Was I willing to take the risk for a buck? There's a very distinct difference to me in what I see between Lexus play deep, deep stacked to this. You just don't have that many times you can make a move. If I fold every king jack to a jam, my poker game is going to go too well. Didn't hit anything, nothing connected, 2 times the big blind. You give up a little bit of fold equity his way. Six and a seven on both tables. In the dark, hello darkness, my old friend. We come to see the big screen again. I would prefer to bet here as opposed to just limping in. It shows a little bit more strength. If we get any major action, we're probably got to let this go. We're getting a little shorter here at the 27 player table. I need to make a move here. Get some blinds at least. And here we go. Sometimes you run into AK. And sometimes it works out. So what do? What do I assume he has? I make a standard bet with a pair of fours. Not super exciting. He jams. Okay, does he have a pair higher than fours? Maybe. Does he have AK suited? Sometimes. Does this guy jam all in with a weak ace? Sometimes. But there is no winning poker player who does not embrace some risk. Now, he could have, and let me play this back. Could he have just flatted that? I don't even know if I can see the hand before that. Can I do that? How does that work? No, not that one. Next one. Because I wanted to kind of, yeah, here we go. So I bet 3 times the big blind, just a standard bet. He jammed his entire, like, there's a third of his entire stack. Like, he can afford to lose here. I call. If he would have just, like, just flatted, he doesn't connect on the flop, he doesn't connect on the turn, am I going to keep betting on it? Everything is over my pair of fours. He probably could have, you know, kept his stack, and I'm not saying it's a wrong play. I'd probably do the same. But there are different ways of playing that hand. 8K is, when it hits, it's massive. When it doesn't, it's garbage. 8K is the highest, nothing. My pair of fours does not hold up well post flop. Would I have kept betting if he had just flatted after that? Now he's gonna bet into me with my queen 6, and I will let it go. I will take a stand with a better hand. I don't think the ace king from his standpoint was a bad play, but what do you do? You're gonna put me all in with a pair of fours, and I'm just gonna have to try to double up. Out of 18 players, I'm now in 5th. They're playing a little bit more, shall we say, aggressively at this point. I automatically checked that like I was going to fold. Actually, if it comes around to me, I'll probably limp on that. I will not be calling a jam. I'm actually more concerned because 27 is on the big blind with this. I think I'm just going to limp in on this and see if I can see a cheap flop. I'm afraid of them playing back at me just because they're irritated. I will bet here since I bet pre-flop. Let's go over here. I don't have much of anything. I'm going to bet half the pot and see if they let it go. I'd like to see a 2, please, or another club, maybe another ace. That is not the card I was looking for. Over here, I'm just going to check this down. My ace is so goddamn weak. They could have ace 3 and take this, but I think I took it, yeah. Table image. So if anybody at that table is paying attention, they just saw me play ace 2 suited. Are they going to respect my bets pre-flop now? I'm having mixed feelings about this ace 10. Part of me wants to flat that, and then if somebody's got ace queen or something ahead of me, they, you know, raise and later position. I think it's better to do this and then make a judgment call. I don't want to play ace 10 completely weak. I'd prefer to get lesser hands out of the way. Ace 10 has to hit just right to be profitable. Any suited ace X that's higher, ace jack, ace queen, ace king, is likely to beat this. If they jam, I'll probably call. It is hard to beat a guy who's not afraid to die. My heads up play gets kind of brutal that way because it's just jamming all in at various times. You got to take a risk somewhere. Yeah, fourth place out of 17. Pressure's building right there. I'm gonna flat here. I'm not super excited. I think this is a great opportunity though. I'm just gonna check here. Wish there had been another 6. Just check that. Everything on the board is above my hand. All I had to connect with is a 7 to be ahead. This, I was a little more concerned about action. Wow, they actually let that go to me. That was interesting. Did not expect that. There's been no betting. I don't think that the 2 helped anybody. Part of me wants to call. I think it's better to just to let this go. I don't really know where I'm at against 4 other players. A 2 and a 9. Well, the 2 did help. They let it go to me again. It's pretty nice. Is the game fun? If the game stops being fun, I take breaks. I don't want to play poker when it's work. Ain't no way, no how. If you don't enjoy playing, why are you playing? I think this is worth a call for the 30 chips. Somebody's likely got a diamond, but another jack or a nine could give me, two pair leading to a full house. They bet a little bit more that, they could have the diamonds. That's a little more challenging for them. If they bet, I'll flat this. There we go. And it wasn't much, but it was a little something. I'm always surprised to find out what guys are holding because that's not really what I put them on. I figured they had a diamond. But it's harder for me to put them on that range because how do I feel about Jack 6? Not super great. I'm like, for sure they have diamonds, right? Like, I'm in there betting small bets. They're not nothing crazy. Mm, I don't think this is strong enough in first position. No, I am back, but I'm glad you let me time out while I was reading something with my Queen 3 suited. The blinds are getting bigger at this other table. It's going to put pressure on people. Let's check where I'm at. I'm in 5th position out of 16, and I've got to hit at least the top 10 to make anything. 5th position's pretty nice. This is one of those steal spots. They know that the 200 chips will help them out. I don't know how I feel about 18, but number 3, if they jam a suited jack 6 again that I don't like, let's bet here and see what happens. Good, because they were sitting out. They let it go. Nice. Sometimes I win one when the guy sits out. Picking up the blinds that way, I'm actually surprised that number 3 didn't jam it all in. It's a very profitable spot. It's one that makes players testy, but AK is interesting. This could really make or break my game here. Ooh, okay. We got a jam. I think, okay, do I want to jam to get rid of other callers? I think I want to flat this. The flat looks stronger, unless I run into queens or higher. They're probably going to be reticent to get involved. But AK suited performs pretty well against like three, player hands. And they took it. Completely reasonable play on both ends. And I like the fact that I even thought about it from the sense of probably drop down. Yeah, I'm in sixth place now out of 16. That sucked a bit, but I definitely think that was the better play. Not that it mattered. I mean, we just wound up all in against each other. I saved you from my sneeze. Uh, let's see here. Bet. Call. Call. Four-handed is not usually how I want to play ace 10 offsuit, where my 10 is the connector with the flush draw. Just check that. Ooh, this large move at the pot right here. I think I'm gonna just let this go. I just don't think this is worth me continuing to go after. Whatever they've got is likely ahead of what I'm holding. Even if I drew an ace, I don't. That's an ugly board. Let's see if they got it. Oh, they let it go. Wow. Yeah, we're getting nitty gritty. Classic battle. I was waiting for him to river a 9 and have the upset. I have mixed feelings about King Jack in early position. It depends on how the other players behave. Uh, do I want to lose half of my stack or more? And we'll see what they do. And nice. Gets me a little bit of a fold equity, a little bit of chips. I say fold equity. I don't even know what the fuck it is. I got some chips. It's the fold equity is more like they put stuff on the board, and I think I don't know if the blinds are considered fold equity, if you want to call it that. If somebody else lets it go, you're taking somebody's chips. Maybe it does qualify, but either way, they let it go to me. Fifth place out of 15. And those guys are going to get wiped really fast. The blinds are big or getting bigger. Ace King held up that time. This is interesting. I'm just going to check here. If a 4 fell, that would be supremely nice. I think I'm going to flat this. That ace is a scare card. The only card that would really save me would be the 4. But drawing a 4 for 50 chips would be super nice. Nobody's going to let go if they've got 3 aces. It did not draw to my hand. They want to do it again. Oh, okay, well, I got enough. Let's gamble. I did not hit. You can bet it out. It's your king and queen. 4 and a 5. I don't feel like being aggressive here. I don't want to lose half of my stack because I'm battling over, you know, unsuited connectors. This will be interesting if it folds to me. I'll flat this if they'll let me see it cheap. Ooh, this is more problem. More of a problem. Okay. 400 on the... Okay, I think it's better just to let this go. Queen Jack is hard to play after the flop, depending on what it is. Unless you connect with 2 pair or 3 of a kind, Queen Jack would be really challenging to handle. We are on a break for 5 minutes. And let's check where I'm at right there. Again, on that table, I'm in 4th position out of 14. I'm pretty sure I can make the money here. I can just sit and hang out, wait for a better hand. The limper as number 1, I thought this would be a better play instead of getting like raising. I would like to river a 5, please. I will check this down if they will allow it. On the 27 player, the most pivotal hand is me jamming or calling a jam with a pair of 4s. That's the most pivotal hand the entire tournament. And that's what I mean about having trash and winning with it is more lucrative in some ways. I don't like that limp, but number 8, the big blind, or the button may jam. I'd like to essentially put them all in. Maybe number 2 lets it go when he sees the size of that bet. I'd rather not play ace queen 3-handed or 4-handed. That is a good flop for my hand, unless you have 7s and 2s. Nothing fancy, but a doubled up. The tournament is about to resume. This is one of those situations. I'm concerned. Okay, let me check and see how many people do we have left. Because part of me wants to play this, and I'm in 4th position out of 14. Do I want to get involved in an altercation with ace 4 suited? And do I want to bet a third of my stack as a standard bet or limp in with it? Well, I guess we made a decision. Let's see what happens. Part of me wanted to bet, but then do I want to call a jam with ace 4 suited? That looks a little more promising for my hand. I will fold here. I will go back. I will check and pray that he does not bet. Now, if I had bet half the stack, he's putting it all in with a jack. I will call this just on value of the ace, but the potential flush draw. I have a 1 in 4 chance of drawing that card, or any heart, I should say. That's particularly ugly. I could have been on a draw with like a 10 or some odd other. See, and this is the situation I was trying to avoid. They're likely ahead. Do I want to call for the rest of my stack for an ace or a heart? I think it's better to let this go and conserve what I've got left. And would not have hit, by the way, since they at least show you here. That was the situation I was trying to avoid. Now, if we go back and I would have bet that, would they have let it go? And that is currently unknown to me. I did not want to get caught with such a marginal hand so late in the game. Let me see what position I'm now in. Yeah, I'm probably in like 7th place, likely, out of 13. And I also do not think that number 7 necessarily had it. I think that they knew that I did not have it. But with my stack size, if I double up once, I'm probably right at like 2nd place. Yeah, 2nd or 3rd place. Queen and a 7, I'll flat. Just check this down. Allow him to bet to his heart's content. Do not believe my queen 7 is strong enough to get involved in an altercation. Mainly with the other stacks, not so much number 3. Sometimes you get a full house when you're small. Oh, yes. The hand we've been waiting for. Defend, defend, defend. Ooh, sweet. 600 chips? Dude, I did not expect that. I thought for sure, I was like, oh, well, you lost some there. Not strong enough. And they're tightening up because the bubble is coming. Let's see how many people got left. Yeah, 11 and 10 is what makes the money. I knew it. I could feel it at the table. I'm in sixth place out of 11. Two more, we hit the final table. Probably just going to hang out. There's not going to be no ace X suited shit with weak holdings. I fucking hate that, but what do you do? Did not feel like arguing with him with 6-9 offsuit. I think the kicker is too weak. Too many marginal situations to be able to greatly, greatly weaken me or wipe me out. It's a very profitable steal spot for him, but I just didn't, again, I don't think that king is strong enough. This is pretty much it. This is going in. If I get action from 22, is not what I fucking wanted. God damn it. I'm gonna have to call. I think this is mandatory. I don't like this from a prior jam, but they're also likely to get out of the way. Oh, ouch. That hurt. Give me a jack. Oh, that sucked. God damn it. I just think that's the only way to play that. It's either push or fold at that point, and I just think he could have had any, like his stack size, he could have jammed almost anything. A pair of twos to like queen 10 offsuit. It sucks going out like this, but this is the end. Over here, we're gonna fold, and it sucks to possibly bubble, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully I double up. And sometimes it works. That made me feel a little bit better. I hate to say that I have to review the hand to see how the hell I won. Looks like they moved the guy to the other table. The king and the 7 is not strong enough. I'm gonna let that go. Let me see what the hell that was. So ace king, he jammed. He had a pair of 5s. Oh, okay. 2 pair hit the board. That's why. All right. I'm really, really happy I took that. That means I could probably make some money off this. It sucked to lose with the jacks, but I just think such is life. Whole bunch of air ball over here. It sucked to run into that. Shit, I saw Lex at a final table, I think, lose with a pair of goddamn 6s to a pair of 7s. And he's like, oh, final table, God, look at this, you know. It's like, well, uh, this is life, I guess. If you play poker, fold. And what happens here? I'm interested to see. So I am not going to call with a 7 and a fucking 2. Congratulations on your steal there. I'm in 8th place out of 10. But the guy next to me is about to go out. When he does, we hit the final table. I get to battle for my life. And any pair of jacks I get is going all the fuck in. And if we lose, we lose. Oh, we made final table. Nice. Congratulations, number 3. You did it with 10 chips, but you did it. Flat here. Give me a 5. I've not been hitting these pairs, by the way. I've not been hitting my 3 of a kind. Oh, nice. Okay, I would like to point out, did not notice this. Should I jam this against the biggest goddamn stack on my left? Thanks. Thanks, guys. 150. I'll flat this. It's more likely that they've got a 10. If I don't draw a 5 at the turn, we are letting it go. That is a check or fold move. This is complete crap. I'm going to let this go. Did not draw anything at the other table. Queen, a 10, a this, a that. I'm going to let this go. I just don't think it's worth it. Nice, he survived. I am praying that the big stack becomes very aggressive, runs everybody over like this, and gives me a whole lot of money for playing tight and conservative at the final table. Now this is interesting. I suspect either aces from 17 or king queen. Maybe a 3 of a kind if he had 5s, something like that. And the other player certainly let it go, but good lord, his stack is huge. I've only got like basically 3 big blinds. We're pretty much push or fold. And that big stack is likely going to lean on people based on what I saw. They let it go to me. Always impressive to see. Not going to bet here. These 2 times the big blind things, again, that final table shit, yeah, it's confusing to me sometimes. I don't think this is worth anything. I am almost bottom stack. I can afford to have the blinds go around one more time, but that's pretty much it. Just let it go with the other table. 10-2 was not what I was going to gamble with. And yeah, 7 out of 8. Though 324, I got my money back playing at the other table. I'm going to let this go. This looked interesting here. Ace and a 10. Might do it. Puts us up in the money a little bit. And again, I can afford to go around another cycle. I did not want to jam that. Maybe I'll pick up something on the big blind. But the other players, if I could double up, the other players are going to play increasingly tight. Hopefully 17 is going to try to run over people. I'm in the big blind with. This is probably it. Yeah, let me see where I'm at, what's going on. Um, Seventh place is 324. So I make something. Ace and a five. I'm gonna fold here. I don't particularly like that. Let's see what happens. And I'm even offsuit. Yeah. I've got nothing left. I think I'm gonna call. Got a nine. Let it hold. Let it hold. And it did. I was nervous about that. But that double up was nice. Now I can just sit and play tight. King nine offsuit. I don't love it, but in that case, it worked. You know, the table. This looks interesting. Um, let's see. Don't think it's worth it. The blinds would be nice, but one double up and I'd be in second place, I think. Ooh, fours. Eek. I don't. Yeah, there's too. This is too volatile. They would call with a really wide range of hands. If I had sevens to tens, I'd probably jam there. But final table, I think it's more profitable to sit and wait. And we're four-handed at the other table. I may be able to make the money on that one. The blinds are small enough. We'll see what happens here. I think this is it. If he's got it, he's got it. Need an ace. Need an ace. Ah, Sixth isn't bad, but not where I wanted to be. More than made up for my losses. Surprised it called that. Still annoyed by that. Was it ace eight and the guy had a pair of nines, I think? But oh well. It's like, oh man, you get to sixth place. What do? You gotta battle eventually. If we had reversed it, he had ace eight, I had nines. I would go all in. The blinds are too big. Battling it out. Trash. How profitable. Need the money. I need a 9, please. This is nice because I've got a double gut shot. So 1 and 5. I'm gonna flat this. He could have a flush with his hearts. No, not calling. Hate when it doesn't pan out. Hate, 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 hate. Oops. Was nervous about that one. And we're now heads up. Oops. And what did he even have? Was it just ace jack? Just see that real quick. Yeah, he just threw the jack. Okay, that makes more sense. Let's do this. I need a 2. Yes. From here on out, it's all in. Need a 2 or a jack. Did not get it. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed.